Welcome to 23 Degrees Sideways, Coyote in the Highlands for all my 0.0005 million subscribers. 0.00005 million. Whatever. All 50 of you. Happy day. I'm in the truck again because there's another windstorm because that's just how this year is going. No, it's not normal. Yes, I've actually been in this area in other seasons and years, and this is not a normal one, so kind of weird. I want to talk about coinage and cryptocurrency, or digital currencies. We call them crypto, or we call them digital currencies, or whatever you want to call them. One of the things that is happening right now is governments are trying to get involved in regulating them. They've discovered that blockchain means they know who spends what, where, when, at all times. And it is the ultimate removal of privacy. Ooh, kind of a problematic thing for all the privacy and freedom-minded people if governments get involved in crypto. Kind of crazy. Now, there's some countries in like South America, Central America, who've decided to just accept it as legal tender, Bitcoin at least. I don't know about Ethereum or anything else. Doge to the moon! But what's going on right now is that the governments are just getting involved and want to regulate and own the currencies. And that's a very scary thing because that's their pathway, which you have just paved for them, to a cashless society. A perfectly tracked society where every economic activity is recorded. That is scary as fuck. So there you go. That's happening. And here's the thing. What do? Well, people will tell me you just use silver and gold. Use actual silver coin and gold coin. Well, I've been to a lot of farm markets, farm sales, gun shows, craft shows, jewelry shows. I've been to a lot of places, and I've seen a lot of people with signs up that they will accept silver or gold as payment. I've never seen anyone, and I've vended at all these things, I've never seen anyone offer to pay with silver or gold. So that's a problem. You know, I've done, I think, 3 transactions that were actually done, calculated out, bullion price of silver, so on and so forth. And that's in 10, maybe 15 years of playing with it. I don't have huge stacks of coins or anything, but I've used it, and I've actually used it to my advantage a little bit as the dollar, as the fiat and silver go up and down together, and gold. Did you know you can get 1 gram gold coins? They're kind of cool. So that's a problem. No one wants to actually use it. Everyone wants to stack it, hoard it, save it, which creates an immediate supply problem for the money. So that's not an answer unless you change your behavior around gold and silver. So, big problem, right? Well, there's also cash, and of course they're trying to move away from cash. So what does that really do for you in the long run? That's a very good question. Right now, and I know this from all sorts of different avenues and areas of life, you can walk around with a pocket full of $100 bills and do everything you need to in life, with a couple of government exceptions where they only accept online payments. And you can fight those if you really want to, because legal tender for all debts, public and private, they're required to take cash. They can make it really difficult, though, if they're not set up for it. But everywhere else, I've managed to make it work. You know, there's something about actually seeing the dollars instead of the card that actually gets people going. And this goes from cars to real estate to just anything. They're trying to take that away. And that's a really scary thing because there's no freedom of commerce. You know, it would be a lot less scary if there was a freedom to engage in commerce that isn't your whatever primary business or something, and not have to worry about tracking and taxes and stuff. And functionally, most of the world, and this is not just the United States, most of the world operates a cash, gray, or black market. If you are a homemaker and you have a little side hustle and you do you make cloaks for the medieval crowd, you do that and you get paid in cash. You don't report that. You don't say, oh, I did this amount of work for this many hours and this is how much goes into Social Security. No, you don't. You're making a couple $1,000s a year. Maybe you're even making $18,000 a year, $20,000 a year, but you wouldn't be able to sustain it if you had to do the paperwork. You wouldn't be able to sustain it if you had to do the taxes. You wouldn't be able to sustain it if you had to get the licenses and deal with the bureaucracy and the regulations and the special tags. Then the moment you become professional, you have to put special tags and special ingredients in your cloaks and this and that. And so you can't do it, all right? Cloaks are just one example. Stuff like cheese. Cheese is absolutely black market. That's forget about the cash. We have deep issues with cheese and meat sales and stuff. A lot of black market for that. And it is black market. And people don't think about it that way. They think about it as farm fresh, my right, and everything. Well, that's where the black market comes from. When everyone becomes a criminal, then everyone will engage in criminal behavior, and the lines get all blurry. So if you are going to have these regulations, and you're not going to have some sort of threshold where it's like, hey, look, anything under a couple $1,000s a month, we're just not going to worry about. If you don't have that, then this is death to independence. And yes, people in the comments, if I ever get comments, will actually say, what about barter? Well, the problem with barter is I don't actually want to fill the back of my truck with lumber to go try to trade to somebody for something that I can trade for gas. I want to sell some stuff, get cash, buy gas. Pretty easy. I acknowledge that I'm doing this without all of the government tracking and stuff, and it's too annoying. It's too much. The overhead is too much for simple things like, oh yeah, I bought this lumber 2 years ago. It's been sitting out properly stored. I want to sell it now because it's worth like 3 times as much. So I'll take some sort of discount on that and I'll sell it because I'm not using it. Well, the government wants to know what your profit is. The IRS wants to tax that. And they want to tax it even if it's just a couple $100s. That's the way the game is supposed to be played. So digital currencies, cryptocurrencies, issued by or regulated by or tracked by governments is a real big issue. What I don't know, what I'm looking for from people is, what are your answers? Are we going to have to create our own cash? And then it's going to be illegal, and people are going to be walking around with like hidden dollars in their underwear and stuff because, if the cops find you. Because you're not supposed to create your own money system. Okay, that was a problem with green stamps and certain kinds of coupons in the past, or barter bucks in certain locations, is that the government tends to step on that because you're creating a money system, a tender, and the government wants to have complete control over that. It is actually illegal to create your own money. It's not illegal to mint your own gold bullion coins by weight, but it's illegal to make money. There is a difference. Paper, I've got some from various places, paper barter bucks, for example, from different communities. That's not legal. Governments don't want you to do that. So what's the answer? Silver and gold doesn't work because all anyone wants to do is hoard it. No one actually wants to spend it. It's really weird, and I don't know what it is in the psyche of man, but the people who deal with precious metals, who deal with like old silver coins and stuff, who actually are willing to say that's a better way to do business and a better way to have money, they won't spend it. They will only stack it, collect it. So that's a problem. That's a real problem because economics requires that exchange. The money has to move or the economy stagnates. And that includes your personal economy if you can't get that movement, So I don't have an answer. Do you have an answer? I'd really like to hear about it. I'd really like to see if there's a way to make it work. We need a government-free or a government tracking-free currency. That's why we've always loved cash. So, there you go. Stay sideways.